Welcome to a new lesson of Adobe Lightroom. In this lesson, I'm going to show you and help you with the tools of how you will be able to change in the vibrance and then, the other tool or like let's say saturation in Adobe Lightroom. Well, both of those are like very simple and very common in, editing softwares like photo editing software or video editing software, okay? So both of them, as I've told you, that they are very common. So I'm going to show you about that and how you will be able to work on it in Adobe Lightroom. So first off, I'm going to give you a brief of what those actually are, how those actually work, and why are those, used in most of the softwares, but here in Adobe Photoshop Lightroom, and then give you examples on both of them. Okay, so first off, let's start off with the vibrance in Lightroom. So Vibrance is a smart tool which increases the intensity of the more muted colors, leaving saturated colors alone. Vibrance also prevents skin tones from becoming overly saturated and unnatural. So what is the use of Vibrance in Lightroom? So the Vibrance slider adds saturation to a photo, but it does it in such a way or smart way that the saturation slider and the vibrance is not absolutely like adjustment. Okay, it protects already saturated colors and colors typically found in skin tones. Drags to left to decrease saturation or to right to increase it, just like basic ones. And why is it actually used? So it allows photographers to increase the intensity of muted colors, just as I told you, and leaving saturated colors to be untouched. Well, Lightroom actually detects all of those and helps you in such a way so that the less saturated or the less vibrant colors should like not be changed. Okay, so first off, I'm gonna do is select on my photo. From here, just as I told you from the first lesson, you can change it in such a way like in both ways, which is going to be in the library module and then the development module. Okay, so first off, I'm going to start off with the library module, which I have over here. So in the library module, you're going to find it in the quick develop. Okay, you can see in the white balance, you can see the vibrance. Later on, I'm going to show you about the saturation, which is going to be later, but I'm going to show you the vibrance of how it actually works first. So first off, just as I told you that it will only add saturation to the photo, that does not, okay, that is like undersaturated, so it's going to increase the vibrance. So first off, what I'm going to do is click on library module, then click on this section, which is going to be the quick develop. Click on quick develop. From here, just click on saved preset, then from there just click on custom, and then from here tone control. You don't have to do anything, you have to just click on this tone control and this will open up, and you can see at the bottom is going to be vibrance. Then as vibrance is 0, okay, so this is vibrance to be 0, and you can see when I decrease the vibrance, it will appear to be greenish than the photo. Okay, let me just show you. So I'm gonna do is which is going to be over here. So what I'm gonna do is decrease it like at the most. As you can see, when I decreased the vibrance to be 0, this photo appeared to like lose a lot of color, right? You can see that it looks grayish, colorless, and lifeless, right? As you can see over here, as you can see over here. But when I increase the the vibrance of the photo, you will see the color will drastically change, like resulting in the photo to be a lot yellowish and a bit greenish according to the photo. Okay, so this is how it actually works. When I reset all, this is like the actual photo, how it actually works. But I'm going to increase the vibrance, and you can see that it will just like increase the color a lot, and might look a bit like a bit reddish, a bit warmer. Okay, but if you increase or decrease it, you will see it will lose a lot of color according to the histogram. You can see the color level is increasing and the gray part is like increasing like drastically, right? As you can see when I like decrease the vibrance, and let's say I'm going to increase the vibrance, and you can see the gray part is like decreasing and the color part is increasing, right? As you can see from this is how the histogram actually works, and it will help you to see the difference. Okay, and now you can see the gray part is like really less, but the color part has drastically increased. But if you like decrease it, just as I told you, the gray part is going to drastically increase, but not the color. Okay, so this is the difference. But if you want to change it bits by bits, you can also use this tool to like see the the difference bits by bits, and then select the one or select the number which you actually want. You can also select it by going to the develop module, and then you can change it from here. You can see the vibrance over here. Well, both of them are quite the same, but this is a bit more better because you can see the number of how it actually is. You can type in the number which one you actually need. Let's say I want 50, so type in 50, hit enter, and you can see it will definitely change. Okay, but if you don't want to, just you can use all of those. Let's say you want 0, you can add in minus 100 plus 100. That's going to be up to you, and you can see the numbers too, so it makes more accurate and helps you a lot more. And you can also share it or use it later on different photos or objects. Okay, so this is how Vibrance actually works and Adobe Lightroom. Then what I'm going to show you is going to be the saturation. Well, both of them are quite the same or correlated. So in the color panel, use the saturation slider to adjust the color intensity of all of the colors in the photo. Saturation is an absolute adjustment. It affects the color equally. So what is the difference between the vibrance and saturation in Lightroom? They both strengthen the intensity of the color in the image. However, they both do so differently. Saturation intensifies all the colors in your images, so both of them are a bit different in such a way that Vibrance only increases the color or increases the saturation in such areas where it has less saturated areas, but where it finds perfectly saturated areas, it doesn't touch. Well, it happens in Vibrance only. But in saturation, this tool works in such a way it's gonna make difference in all of the areas in your photo, even in the ones it is perfectly saturated. Okay, let's say the BAR, this part is perfect. Okay, it's still gonna change that part. As you can see that it is making a lot of difference in that part. But if you change the vibrance, you can see very less type of difference is being changed in those parts too, because that is perfectly balanced. Okay, but if you change the vibrance, you can see all part of the photo is changing. Okay, so this is where you will be able to find the saturation, this bar. Okay, where you will be able to change the saturation level according to your desire. Okay, you can also do the same thing by adding in numbers, whichever one you want. Let's say I want 50, type in 50, hit enter. You can do that. If you want minus, what you're gonna do is just click on it, type in minus, and then type in minus 50, and you can see the minus 50 has been added. If you type in 0, now you can see that all of the color has been diminished, and there's no color. But that works very different in Vibrance, right? Even if you turn it to be 0, you can see that the sum of the part here is still to be colored because it has detected the color to be perfectly balanced. Okay, in Vibrance. But saturation does the opposite. Okay, saturation does does not scan any area where it is perfectly balanced and changes it the whole area of the picture. Okay, so that is the actual difference of vibrance and saturation in a photo. So saturation describes the intensity of the color, and lightness refers to how light or dark in the color or the color is. So a grayscale or black and white photo has no color saturation. So while a full color of a photo field or sunlit wildflower might be extremely saturated. So as you can see that it has not detected any part where it is perfectly saturated. So what it did is just saturated. If you increase it, it's going to saturate the whole photo. If you decrease the saturation, it's going to decrease the saturation of the whole photo, making it colorless. Okay, so hope you guys understood everything in this lesson on how you will be able to use vibrance and saturation. But another way of how you will be able to change the saturation is going to be the library module. You can also see in the tone control, let's just increase the saturation a bit. Now let's go to library module and increase it a bit, and you can see in the clarity and vibrance you can change it difference. But you can see that both of them have turned different. You can increase the blacks like increase decrease the blacks, and then you will see a difference. Okay, well, this is a bit different from actually saturating a photo, but you can like increase the contrast and exposure in such a way so that you can like increase the saturation of an exact photo or exact video. Okay, so hope you guys like understood this on how you'll be able to use those tools on saturation and actual vibrance. Okay, you can also change those in from this develop module too. Okay, so that is actually it. Just go through these tools and you will get it on how you'll be able to use it. So thank you for watching this video and staying with us, and hope you guys like understood everything.